books, shows, movies, games, the ever-increasing tensions of family drama.
The Wicked Witch of the East, bro!
I'm gonna stab him.
Everyone enjoys some good narrative entertainment, and every good narrative has good writing, or at least it should. Now, say I want to create a good piece of narrative entertainment. In order to do this, I would need to write something that people would consider good. But it's so hard to create good writing. It requires skill, and we all know I don't have that. So, I seek some advice on how to write better. But I don't want to watch the boring videos with the people and the talking and the I want comedy and some variation in the visuals. I want to learn and I want to be entertained at the same time. So, who do I watch? Terrible writing advice, of course. Welcome back to YTIL, everyone. Terrible Writing Advice is a channel that makes videos that sarcastically and satirically give terrible advice on how to write certain tropes and conventions of writing, hence the name Terrible Writing Advice. Now, there are a lot of YouTube channels dedicated to writing and its many sections. Many of these are very good at informing how to write better and more effective ways to create a good story. However, of all of them, I find Terrible Writing Advice to be the most enjoyable whilst still being able to teach me something new. It captivates me like no other writing channel there is. I think the reason behind this is because rather than it just being about giving writing advice, Terrible Writing Advice seeks to entertain you as well, which would make it fall under the category of edutainment, which has always been a favorite of mine for as long as I can remember. You know, Magic School Bus and the like. It makes me feel better wasting my life watching videos, because hey, I'm learning, Mom. What do you mean get a job? I've been trying, Mom. It's not my fault that no one is hiring. I can't control the economy. I learned a lot from Terrible Writing Advice, from world building to plot structure. You see, despite giving terrible writing advice, Terrible Writing Advice actually gives you great writing advice, not terrible writing advice. You simply have to do the opposite of the terrible writing advice that Terrible Writing Advice gives you. Terrible Writing Advice. Even if you are not looking to improve your writing skills, Terrible Writing Advice seeks to entertain you as well as teach you. There are pop culture references.
Dedicate most of our resources to teasing out a whole series of stories we will never get to after the first bombs.
Some really good jokes.
The opportunistic writer to fill, like a gaseous substance of some kind.
And let's just appreciate that JP puts the effort to have different voices and new artwork for his scenes and characters.
You look like a Renaissance fair got raided by an anarcho-communist.
Says the guy dressed in a hood and cloak.
Listen, you must stop shilling, or else the Terrible Writing Advice expanded universe will end.
My artistic skills peak at MS Paint, and even I take hours to make something small. So I can't imagine how long it would take to make an entirely new scene with new backgrounds and character designs. I appreciate it when people put in the effort to make their videos even a little better, because I sure know I don't. Alright, let me just check that off the list. Oh yeah, it's all coming together. Whenever I see that a new Terrible Writing Advice video has dropped, I always drop everything and watch it, because it always has something interesting to talk about and to sarcastically make fun of.
Why have style over substance when you can use style to fake substance?
I'm a world-building junkie, and his videos on the topic are both entertaining and educating for me. Oh hey look, it's that edutainment thing again. Now, Terrible Writing Advice, in all his sarcastic glory, never feels like he seriously wants to belittle bad cliches along with those that write them. His couple of serious writing videos shows that he really wants to give a guiding hand to new writers that may feel lost. It shows that he really cares for his audience, and that's the kind of YouTuber that I support. He gives off this kind of chill English teacher vibe that makes you actually want to learn and I'm all for learning. I have watched a lot of writing channels over the years. Many of them are some of my favorites that I may do a video on in the future, but the only one that makes me laugh is Terrible Writing Advice, and that's why I like it so much. If I laugh, then I like it. As an aspiring writer, I love Terrible Writing Advice. As someone with a sense of comedy and a limited grasp on pop culture, I love Terrible Writing Advice. And as a man of culture, I love Terrible Writing Advice. I don't know where I'm going with this, but what I do know is that I love Terrible Writing Advice. And I think you might love him as well, so check him out if you're interested. This was YTIL episode 2 on the terrific Terrible Writing Advice. I think I've said Terrible Writing Advice too many times. If you enjoyed this video, then consider subscribing. Also, follow me on Twitter.